back with the SITH element. We just walked away from the Andor finale. It seems so long ago that we even started the show, and it wasn't like a big anticipation in getting to Andor. Like I think they dropped a trailer, and I wanted to. I hate saying that because a lot of people ultimately like it now. It seems cool. Hey, I was one of the people that like Rogue One. It's like, okay, yeah, it's way over $1 billion, dumbass. A lot of people like it. A lot of people like Rogue One, right?
Yeah,
people throw that out like, hey,
Right,
I was
right.
one of the ones that liked it. It was like, yeah, it made $1 billion, dog. Like a lot of people liked it. Get out of here.
A lot of people went back to go see it as well. So that's how you get. That's how you get to $1 billion. You
don't do $1 billion off the
see it
first
for
weekend.
one time. Yeah, it's very successful, bro.
It was a solid effort, right?
So Tony Gilroy got the job.
Yeah, did a Philly, so he. But it still wasn't a situation. I think it was like when they dropped the trailer, where it was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Look like for me, it was like that trailer that dropped. It was like, oh, okay. And then when Marvel was in it, like, oh, we got a reckoning coming. So we sat there and was like, okay, cool. We got the show coming, but it seemed like it took forever to get to it. Then they dropped the 3-episode premiere, which was smart on their part because those first two were really slow. And I'm not saying the whole series was slow. I mean, fast. It was a slow build-up series, but like it made sense that they come in because it would have been like, oh man, that one episode. They dropped the 3. And then we was rolling. And then we got to this point with the finale title, Rick's thoughts on the series overall.
Yeah, like you said, man, a super slow burn. It took time for the show to build up. Again, bro, if I'm being honest, it never disappointed. I was kept building up because I'm like, there's no legacy characters. And I even made the art. I think I even brought it up. I was like, man, you typically don't do Star Wars this way. Star Wars is not about dialogue, and that's what made the original Star Wars great. And that's where Lucas sort of faltered in the prequels, was that he added more dialogue. Whereas I always thought Star Wars was, what, like I said, Star Wars is when in Return of the Jedi is when C-3PO is telling the Ewoks the story about basically how they got there, and he doing the sound effects, like, and he talking a language, and he like, he's like Solo, he do Darth Vader. That's Star Wars. You know what I mean? Star Wars is sound effects, special effects. It's spectacle at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about necessarily dialogue. Yeah, it's about the story, but it's not about all this like characters talking with each other and so I was skeptical of that. But once I realized that, okay, this is like I'm reading a novel, it really resonated with me. And I was like, man, this reminds me, it brought me back to my youth, growing up reading expanded universe novels. It took a long time to get to where we got, man. I thought it ended really strong. This last arc was very strong. It's some of the best Star Wars I've seen in years, and but when I say that, I'm really lumping in books. I'm really lumping in Star Wars literature. I'm lumping in what is now Legends, and I'm comparing it to that because just how they approached this version of Star Wars. They went in with this. They went in with a mission for character development. They went in here to tell a story and to not spare any details. And I felt like they succeeded on all fronts. They also nailed the aesthetic of what George Lucas started, which is they call dirty space, or like used space. Like, it looks like a used lived-in universe.
Yeah.
They nailed all those factors, right? My biggest takeaway, man, is Luthen, man, and how great of a character we built, an original character. In my opinion, the best original character since Thrawn, in my opinion. And we know we've had a lot of original characters in the past, 10 years. We've had Rebels, Ezra, we've had Ahsoka Tano, and she high on the list. You know what I mean? We know, like, she like I'm not gonna argue with anybody who would say that she's number one. Kanan.
Yeah.
We got the Bad Batch. We got a bunch of clones. Rex. We got Cad Bane, and we got Din Djarin. We got a lot of original characters, man, like that they've come up with, right? Hey, man, I would challenge. I got Luthen up there, man. I might have Luthen just because he was developed so well. I got him in the top 5.
And I forgot. I guess we forgot to say Grogu too, right?
Grogu was one too. Yeah. For him to stick out and not have two double lightsabers, you know what I mean? For him
none of that.
A suit of armor. He not moving stuff around with the Force. He not not blind and fighting with his lightsaber still. He's not force choking people. He don't got a helmet on that he got to breathe through. He don't nothing about him as far as his look sticks out.
And not a lot of time.
In a very little amount of time, man. But it's just pure like conviction for the rebellion. His cunning. You know what I mean? Like just his ambition, man. Like just how he moved is like very reminiscent of me of like when Thrawn first came out. That's who he remind me of in that sense. Even though they two different characters with two different aims, it's just for them to create like Timothy Zahn to create an original character like that. I feel like they've done it here with Luthen, man, where you got this character where you like alone, he's just interesting. You know what I mean? Like he don't have to rely on anything else. You don't have to rely on the Force. You don't have to rely on the Empire, the Sith, the Jedi. You don't have to rely on the Bounty Hunter Guild and not the son Mando or nothing like that. But I'm just that's what I mean. That's my biggest takeaway. Is Luke.
You don't even have to rely on being a good dude.
He don't even have to be he's not a hero.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
he's not a hero.
You could take him and be like, you could not like him. You can actually sit back and you can walk away like, hey man, you gonna get Anton Krieger killed? You willing to just sacrifice a bunch of them people? Hey man, you willing to say that you willing to just sense up like you willing to go kill and the beauty in what he was doing? You don't have to like him. Like he's not presented as a likable character. It's for you to decide what you like about him.
It's like, you don't have to like him, but you will respect him by the end. Like if you paying attention, that's what I'm saying. Keep bringing up Thrawn. Thrawn did the same thing in the original. You know you're a villain, but you end up by the end of you like, damn man, he's such a great villain that you like.
He stand out.
You like, man, you almost to the point that when he dies, you like, damn. You know what I mean? That's a great villain. That was a great villain. That's a memorable villain. So that's why people were so excited when Thrawn came back in Rebels.
Yes,
that's one of the things that made me start actually respecting Rebels a little bit. Even though, again, I'm in my opinion that version of Thrawn is not as great as the original, but still, for them to reach into the bag and be like and bring Thrawn out of Legends and make him canon again.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is what I mean, where this is what struck me with Luthen the most, man. That's why I was like, man, this is a great original character. That was my takeaway from Andor, so that we got a great season and we got one of the best shows on television, but we also in the sense of Star Wars and the Star Wars lore and our present canon, we got one of the best original characters in a long time.
I think overall, man, I think everybody didn't need to flesh out. We could all walk away with different people that we was like, okay, it could be Marva. It could be since what's the big man that was headbutting people with the mask? His man's. Big man.
Great
job
different
people, but but really, like, if you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, like, you could be like
B2 emo.
You could be like Deirdre, but you could really have like a for real thing, not just saying like, oh, I like that person like this, like you could really feel about a lot of people. I think he's the standout. Don't get me wrong, like to the point where it's like, oh, I didn't even. Well, we're gonna do a lot with Mon in the second season because I thought Mon was gonna be the star of the first season, and she wasn't.
Nah, man.
And I think they did a good job the way they showed it. Like she can't be. She's not ready. She's not ready. So we're not going to even. We're going to tell it in a way we're not going to make her what she not yet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting this whole time where she was going to be that, but then it makes like we talked about it earlier. It makes sense why it wasn't that. It makes sense why it's Luther. It was a good way to build characters, and we could shoot them some bail. You get to do that when you know you got season 2. Even though if they didn't do a second season, they just ended it right there and say, hey, that's it. You see the post-credit scene. You know what happens in the movie. Let's rock. I'd have been cool. But like, you really get to do that. Like, okay, we got something in the bag for you, season 2. I'm asked a question about episode 12, the finale. Was this the first one, except for Mon, where everything happened in the same location, right? So everybody in all the other episodes, to me, I think everybody, like the main, whoever was depicted as the main characters of that, they always kind of picked 3, and the 3 rotated some way, shape, or form, but they always were kind of like different locations.
That's facts. Yeah,
and obviously we had Mom, but Mom wasn't a main character. She had a couple things, but like the people that was involved were all on Rick's Road, right? Am I wrong about that one?
No. You're right.
No,
it
all had to go back for the funeral. He had to
go
back for the funeral.
Yeah,
I didn't think Deirdre was going to show up. She shows up.
She showed up in person.
She shows up in person.
Boots on the ground.
Where, like, they looking around like, oh, that's who they talking about, huh?
She even reached, like, we got slapped out her hand, but she reached. She had a blaster on her, bro.
Yeah, she was strapped. Vale showed up. So everybody, I like the one scene they had where it was like the Imperial hovercraft went past, and that was the same moment that Vale was walking across the street. And I was like, you can, like, the way they shot that, it was just like how in sync they were. With that shit.
Did it give you? It gave me Godfather 2 vibes.
Godfather, oh my god!
You know what I'm talking about? It gave me the God.
Oh, my bad. When Vito was on the roof, but like they had the party going, the festival going on in the street. You mean that scene with young Vito, right? All right, young Vito.
Yeah, when he had to get the neighborhood mob guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
that part.
That gave that. It was like that parade playing in the back, like. That
flat horn.
Yeah, I was like, this is Godfather. Yeah, bro, it gave me Godfather 2 vibes.
Definitely.
And then even with the build up when old girl had the knife work, when she kind of rolled up on old dude, and he like turn around, what you doing here? And she started, but yeah, we getting ahead of it. But you know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm with you though. Yeah, I had to bring that up. It gave me Godfather 2 vibes.
Just getting to that, like you said, we start off with Andor, and then he touched the wall, because what ultimately happened when you pass away, if you were like a citizen deemed worthy, they take your ashes and pull in the brick, you become part of Rick's role. You're still part of the community. Mm-hmm. He go back and he reminisce on his father, Clem, and he giving him this line about, hey, people don't basically always pay attention. Everybody not noticing this, that, and the third. He going through the underground tunnel that Marva had talked about. He meet up with Big Man. We also get to that part before that a little bit. Dude who answered the phone last episode talking to Big Man like, and Cass called, and Big Man told him, don't tell nobody. This is just our conversation. What we find out is the brother we seen in the first episode, he trying to come up. He trying to get his comeuppance.
You talking about
pay me, give me off land. Do with the little
with the twisty shits.
Yeah. So he giving information to the Empire. We got Cassie in there, Serial showing up with his little stumpy friend, Vale there, Lutheran on his way. He done got out the ship. He done took his hover bike. He rolling up.
He got to put in the work himself, right?
Yeah. So we all convene. Old girl Vale, she run up on Cinta. She's just like, yo, I couldn't come pick you up. We got the Imperial officer there. I'm following the Sheedan showed up. I'm following the other guy. I ain't got time to deal with what you talking about. Vale and her feelings about her.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Almost, you talking about Vale? My mom's cousin. She almost. It's almost like with her, bro. She's with the shits. And with this rebellion and this whole movement, almost contingent on old girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they did a great job capturing the fact that she is like very much in love, and she doing this out of, whereas I feel like the girl, Cinta, right? Cinta is like, nah, I'm about this life.
Yeah, this is what I do.
My focus is the mission. You know what I mean? Yeah, we in love and all this shit. But she very much almost like her nose open. She following this chick around. Like she in this for her, I feel like. If you notice, like everything she do is like revolves around this girl. So it's like, and you see it in this episode where it's like, man, like, old girl was focused. Cinta's like, I got a mission. I got a secret mission.
She tactical.
She don't even really tell her everything. She kind of got her own. She got like literally. She got mission A, and then she got like mission B.
Yeah.
Old girl don't know about mission B.
No.
Or 1A or 1B or whatever. She don't know about that
her
other
backup
mission.
Plan. No, none of that.
She don't know that
alternative route. No, none of that.
Yeah. And she kind of getting a sense of that, like, yeah, you ain't. She's dedicated to the empire, or stopping the empire or the rebellion, whereas the blonde haired chick is kind of like in love. Yeah, her feelings involved, man, and I don't know how that's gonna culminate. You know, I don't know if she gonna get whacked in the season 2,
or easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she can go any way because of her feelings.
Because she can get flipped. Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I'm really getting.
What if Cinta get murked? Right? What if Cinta catch one? Like, what is her resolve to stay in it like that? Because she's not strong in it right now. You're right.
And what if Luthen do it? Because if Luthen used the same logic that he used for that he was going to use for Cassian to whack Cassian, what if he used that for old girl? What if he say, hey man, it's too many loose ends. she kind of did something I didn't agree with. I got to take her out. Then it's like, you so involved in it, do you just say like, well, I'm flipping on everybody? Because she rich. I mean, she come from a rich family. What's keeping her in it is what I'm saying, outside of this girl.
And look at it too. It might not even be Lutheran. It might be his homegirl. Because his right hand definitely do some shit like that.
Yeah.
And they don't get along. After they had that confrontation, because you can see a situation where, like, let's say Vale get caught, and then Senta like, hey, you know what this is? You're gonna get taken out. And if I got to be the one to do it, I'll do it. Or she cops when that baby girl want to do it. She like, well, I know what's going to happen. Or if something happened to Senta and they like, nah, we can't. Hey, we need to go ahead and round up a bunch of people to go save her. And she's like, nah, we can't go. Senta know what it is. Senta know what she knew what she signed up for.
And Senta would exactly. Yes.
We're not going to go do that.
That's the point. Like, nah, I'm with you. Like, that's what I'm getting to. She's very much.
She a wild card now.
She a liability. You know
she a liability. Yes,
she a liability.
Yo, she's laying the seeds for what's gonna happen, what she can ultimately be in season 2.
I think I'm with you. I think she can get flipped one way or another to protect the goal, which is keep the rebellion going, fund the rebellion. And
well, now you open up a topic. You think about it like this: we saw what Mon would do in this episode twice. We already seen her groundwork of like what she was doing, what she was willing to do with her daughter. But you see, she starts setting up her husband.
She made her sacrifices. Yeah.
She started, hey, you been gambling. You need to go to Canto Bite. And he like, hey man, I ain't been doing none of that. Hey, take that shit to Canto Bite. Don't embarrass me here. Tell her to do to roll up his window that she knew he was gonna listen. I'm gonna set him up for this $400,000.
He don't even know.
So is she willing to do that? We can see that with the husband, but that's like cunning to do with her husband.
Yeah, that's a good.
So I'm gonna cover my shit on both ends, and then like she made like Vale could even run to like, hey, look, we got Senta, they ain't gonna willing to do, and she like, and Mon might be like, because that's what we got to do. So she going to like even her safe haven of thinking what she can go get hers, and then Vale like, you know what, I got something for y'all. Or next you know, her and Deidre are homegirls. Everybody runs down on Rick's Road. We have the beautiful or powerful, especially at the end, the Marva speech. She's kind of telling them to fight. And I also felt like, I don't know if you felt this. I felt like her speech, at first I was like, it touched Luthen. But then as I got to the end of it, I felt, because what I felt at the end of it is I felt like it maybe confirmed what Luthen feel like he needed to see it tangibly. Because I don't know if he had ever seen it tangibly. There's a couple of things I don't think people had ever seen. And I'll get to the Empire, but I felt like all the things that Lutheran had been probably saying and thinking, even when he gave his speech to the spa that he had inside the thing, he was saying it and he believed it, but he had only been talking to his tactical people, Saul, even it was Mon. He wasn't on the ground with that shit, and he got to see this is it right here. This is what we talking about, and this has to happen like it was a confirmation for him that he probably never was able to. See, he didn't see Aldani, and Aldani was a heist. That was a robbery. We talking about boots on ground, and it confirmed, like it touched him, and it confirmed how he felt about things. Like, and then made even see Andor in a different way. Like, I need to kill this dude, but this is where he came from. He from this?
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably more perfect than anybody else I got.
Because he realized, like, man, not only Andor got something to fight for, man. This ain't just a loose end, bro. This ain't just some guy, some
mercenary,
some gun that I hired to do this job, man. This dude actually, like you said, this dude got more invested than anybody I've ever had, maybe.
Yeah.
He coming from a place that basically is sparking the rebellion. Another rebellion. That's that last scene at the end where Andor basically gives him a gun, like, hey man, either kill me or take me in. But the build up to that scene, there was nothing stopping him from. It wasn't like Andor's speech. Andor didn't make no speech. He didn't. It's not like anything that Andor said was that convincing to make him reconsider just shooting him right there on the spot. It would have been mission complete. He could have took off. It was definitely, I think, that speech. Seeing that speech and seeing the reaction that people had, almost to the point where, man, Luthen almost got like hurt. Like Luthen was like getting up, You know what I mean? Like, put the hood on. He was like, man, shit, I'm out of here, bro. Look at that, bro. They trying to give this dude SITH vibes or like some type of, you know what I mean? Like, they trying to give him them vibes.
He looking for a Skywalker. He looking for a Skywalker right there.
Vibes, bro. But nah, I'm with you, man. I think it was the speech, bro. I think without saying it, and you actually brought up a great point earlier. Hey, man, a lot of his acting is done through just facial expressions. And I saw a lot of facial expression. He never said any. He never commented on the speech. You just kind of just see his reaction. He just like, looking around like, damn, man, these people believe in this. Yeah, this could work, man. And I actually got a guy who's from this community, who's from this planet.
He right here.
Yeah, he right here from this city, and this was like his mom. And Luthen walks away, man. Luthen don't pursue Andor from that point. No, Luthen like he make it out of that right, and he like, all right.
He stands over, just looking like, this what I've been. All that stuff I'm saying, I see it now. Like, I'm not saying he was awoke. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm saying like it was tangible. For all the things that may have happened, we don't know about other pockets of a resistance because we're not in a rebellion yet. We just got to have a resistance at this point in time. And maybe I'm saying the same word and I'm trying to make it sound differently, but like they're not full on yet. But at this point in time, it's like, yo, this is tangible. And this is like ground zero for this stuff, man. Like, oh, okay. So when I start talking now, I actually have even better ways to make plans because these people ain't have nothing. They was getting shot with blasters, bro. People was they was getting bodied like, man. People have those stormtroopers was hitting.
Mm-hmm.
They was hitting. They
aim was good that day.
They aim looked good. Like, it was also good to see. We get to see that those people that was leading the Empire. It made me think about when I was in the military, right? And then we would have you have your sergeant, your first sergeant, all your people, but like those people put in work. I don't want to disrespect people who be officers and all that, but they went to school. They was never out there having to fight. They never had to put in work. And it was like when I saw Red when he kicked over B2 Emo, right?
Yeah.
And then he got shook. Like he had never been in no action. All those Deirdre, how shook she got when she when Cyril saved her, because it was like I'm like they not gonna kill her. They not gonna kill her. So and the way they showed that when she got like this, and she was shook. Like, so all that shit when she was standing over and being like,
my man definitely clapped too, bro.
Oh, he had to clap.
Yeah, he clapped in that. It may be in that right there on the spot. Yeah, because he had her, bro. Go ahead.
When she was doing, I should say thank you. You know a way to, you know a good way to thank me.
You can say thank you.
Oh yeah, I gotta
show me how thankful you are.
I got a head, but I can feel it. So like,
she was all up in his arms, boy.
When she was standing like this, like that's cute, and the dude behind her, all three of them, but really her and that dude behind them to the right of us, they was shook with that when everything got popping. You could tell they had never been in anything like that. They had never been anything like that. And to see even the despair, like so they gonna like be extra going forward, right? This is like somebody had pointed out, it might have been theory. Now I'll get in that when we get into we're gonna stop in a minute, but we're gonna talk about this post-credit scene just a little bit, just kind of confirmation of what we were talking about earlier, or previous episodes. But like it was just, I think I going back to Luther, he could see that people are ready, right? So like when he was even talking about we need people to tighten up because we need them, the Empire tightening up makes these people want to rebel more. It's going to break a greater resistance. He was kind of saying that earlier in the season. And then he got to see it. It ain't just some shit to say. I get to see it in action.
Mm-hmm.
Marva said it. If I could do this all over again, I'll fight, right? Like, it's easy for the dead to tell you to fight, but fight the Empire. Get these bastards. They kept saying bastards. It's our favorite word in the series. Right. But like it was ready. So like it was just, I felt like I seen that in Luther's face. It's a long-winded way of saying I seen it in his face. At first I was like, is he getting I felt like he was moved by what she was saying, and I felt like then it goes back to what we don't know about Luthen's upbringing. Like, does he come from the sweets of Coruscant, or is he from the mud? Like Deirdre, not from the mud. Dude behind her was not from the mud. Luther might be from the mud. I keep using that term, but you get what I'm saying. Like he might have pulled himself up. I say all that to
13, of course.
Yeah. He from one of them. He might have lived where he
bounty hunters.
That. Like, yeah, he might got that. He might got that. He might be from them kind of streets. So like, we got to the end. We got Andor saying, "Sign me up." Basically, we knew we needed this season to get him to come to that. Also, he saves Bix, right? You know, I love Bix with a fun.
Yeah. Hey, Bix,
she had a good some Bix stanger. It was actually hard to find a pic. I found, I got this pic of her, but it was actually hard to get a pic that wasn't a thanger pic, because there's a lot of thanger pics on the internet of Bix.
Hey, Bix lost her mind. Bix is like crazy now.
Yeah,
Big stanger though, bro.
Big stanger, man. Like,
he's got major problems now. You know.
How you gonna resolve? Like, is she gonna be permanently like this? Because
her mind is like destroyed. You know what I mean? But
she did I thought she did a good job. Just the actress, like she was sitting like that. But then when Marvel was talking, and then like she had a tear running down her face. Like even in her, like she had enough right there to feel that. But
yeah, she still realized the loss. Yeah.
We'll talk about this post credit real quick.
Let's do that.
Only from a confirmation standpoint, because me. My original thought was I knew they was gonna do a post credit. Like, they gotta do a post credit because it's just a season 2, so they're gonna do something to lead us into season 2, right? So I let it play, and I always fast forward every one because I'm like, they could do a post credit in any one, and I ain't gonna miss it if I don't want to catch it later. So then we see this rolling up, and what we get to see is that the part that they were making in that prison arc, the unlocking a locking mechanism for the that would encapsulate the ray on the Death Star. I was like, oh, my thing was, man, that ain't gonna be it ain't gonna really, they just doing something. But like literally he was in the shop fixing a weapon that's gonna ultimately kill him. But then they're gonna stop.
That's wild, ain't it?
Destroy.
Yeah.
But he was making the weapon. He was making parts for the weapon that's going to ultimately kill him.
Yeah.
Somebody brought up a great point about that. First of all, before I go what do you think about the post credit?
Yeah, for them, and I'm a little shocked by a few things here, and I'm actually, it kind of sparked different curiosities that I've had for years about the Death Star, and where it is currently in this show, right? And this part of the timeline, right? It shocked me first that the Death Star is like that complete, right? Like damn, like almost done with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. For one, I'm like, well, damn, shit. The Death Star is like mostly intact, right? You kind of getting the laser, the ray down.
You could sure have staff on there. Like, you could have that thing staffed.
And that's another point. That's
my bad. I didn't mean to jump.
No, that's my next point. My next point is, in Star Wars, we've never actually seen like somebody in space. We've never seen the equivalent of an astronaut in Star Wars. So I always wondered, like, when they were building the Death Star over Genosha or anywhere else, it's not at Genosha here, but it's somewhere else here. But it's like, I always wondered, like, man, do they got dudes out there in like space suits with lasers and like hydro spanners and shit? Like, do they got dudes out there putting shit out there?
They will be on the space station right now.
Yeah. It's like no, they don't. They got droids, bro.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I was like, that shocked me. Like, man, like, bro, the droids built the Death Star, like, mostly. You know what I mean? It was interesting to me that how they would build it. Like,
wow.
It's like the secrecy that went into the Death Star. When you start thinking about why would they do that? Why would they have, first of all, prisoners who they tricked into thinking that they're going to be released, but only to redistribute them into different parts of the prison? It's like, because, man, it's so nobody could ever get out and risk telling exactly what they were building, especially the enemy of whoever, whether that be just the enemy, another empire, or another, anybody. Nobody could find out about what they were building. But to see this now, like, man, not only did nobody, they had prisoners building it, they had droids pretty much building it. So it's like it's not even whatever contract hired engineers or whatever they would normally have. They couldn't even risk that. So they like, we just gonna have droids put this shit together. Bro, it was like little droids.
Yeah, those little I forget the names. They were like
spider droids,
right?
Yeah.
They were like somebody had brought it up that it's like it's a repurposed version of a droid that's already got a name. And I couldn't remember the name. So it's like it was a Walker or something.
I know what it is.
They got repurposed and like an advanced version, like a bigger version of that.
I can't remember the name.
I found out more about the Death Star today that I didn't even know. Like I didn't know that thing could even. They was like it can go to hyper. They got hyper and all that. So that's how they can move it in secret. Yeah.
No. It moves.
Because somebody brought that up. What you just said, like it was like I thought, why is it not over Genosha? But like it would make sense that they would have to move it sometimes.
Yeah.
And the thing I was watching something, and Theory had made this point, so I definitely wanted to like still like his mind. He was like, one of the things that because you just made that point, like man, that thing built, and he said one of the things that may have slowed it up, even to the point where they had like when we get to Rogue One, and they getting on Krennic for like all the delays and stuff like that, is that one of the biggest delays they probably start off with was the fact that Cassidy broke out that prison. That prison breakout,
I think I did
probably
see that.
did a lot of slowing that up.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like that started part of it. Like they had to like get a whole like the whole prison broke out, right?
Shit.
So it's like
sense.
So it wasn't even operational. It was done. That was done. It was a done prison. Like so to be able to get that back functional and things of that nature. And we don't know all the things going on in the galaxy, but like something like that was probably just that piece that we're making was enclosing all the little discs and all that so that they can. It didn't fixing the laser because they still couldn't fix the laser until they brought Krennic to Orson back, right? Urso, but after they got Urso,
that.
But them breaking out of prison, even though it was the weapon that ultimately killed them. But one of the things, the downstream effect was they couldn't finish the Death Star in time, which means they had to keep the Senate in time, which allowed like more of a rebellion. Like it might have been more of a downstream effect of them fact of breaking out. It wasn't just Cassian getting out, but also impacted the build, the speed in which the Death Star could be built. And it was a logical, it wasn't just like some shit to say. It was like a logical, like, that him doing that wasn't just him breaking out of prison. It was casting them delaying.
That's true, because the entire prison escaped. It wasn't just like one part of the prison. It was the whole prison broke out and swam into the ocean. So it's like, that's a good point, man.
It was like once they knew the thing worked, they tested. They knew it worked once they hit Jeddah, and then they took out Scarif, right? It was like we don't know. Then we get to episode 4, New Hope, and they walk into that room, and he's like, "How would he be able to get maintain control of the Senate?" And he's like, Tarkin, like, he dissolved the Senate, like because they didn't need him no more. Now we know the Death Star worked. Like it's all out there now.
Because even in New Hope, it pulled up on Yavin, right?
Yeah,
it came out of yeah, bro. The Death Star is it was that part. Yeah, the most part. Yeah, like I said, that struck me the most. I didn't even think about the prison break and shit. You're right, man. He actually did delay the damn process by breaking out that prison, which they probably had to go back in and be like, well, shit, we got to get some people to build this. Yeah, but what struck me is just seeing the droids, just actually seeing the Death Star be built. We saw the skeleton. We saw in the second Death Star. We saw it where it could still fire when it was still operational. You know, obviously they built the laser part first for the second Death Star. They didn't wait until
that was going
big because it was already proof of concept was already there, right? Like they had already know by building the first Death Star that they can build a Death Star that can fire on planets and shit like that. But just actually seeing a Death Star be built, man, that's what struck me the most about that post credit.
I didn't think about that. That's actually a dope way to look at it, because like, and then you think about it. I mean, to cut you, but you think about it like, even with the droids, that's like it has to be Genoshan technology too. The droids, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, which I always sort of suspected was like, wait a minute, man, because I always said that I was like the Genoshans would have used droids. They were separatists. They had a droid. They were part of the Separatists. Separatists had a droid army, also exclusive, almost an exclusive droid army. They would obviously use, and I thought about that, like, man, with a droid army, you probably would get over the droid with droid workers and engineers, you probably get the job done faster than you would with humans. You see the Empire, Empire was like trying to save money and shit, right? Like the Empire, if you, I don't want to spoil this completely, but if you look at Bad Batch, one of the first things about the first season is they destroyed Camino, where the clone facility was, right? And we knew this happened, so it's not like a
yeah facts,
because we kind of knew that they
but you see it happen.
They discontinued the shit, right? But it's like, yeah, just the fact, just their reasoning behind that, and I wish I wouldn't have said that because I kind of did spoil. I'm sorry.
I knew that.
You still can enjoy it though. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm watching the Clone Wars now. Like I don't know what all that happened. I can literally fast forward through all the shit. I'm really just trying to hurry up so I can get the Bad Batch season 2 in about a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to knuckle through this shit, man.
But I'm telling you though, you're gonna feel like Bad Batch is more of a prequel to Rebels than it is a sequel to Clone Wars. I'm telling you, because it's so much Rebels. There's so much Rebels in the show. It's so much Rebels in the show. But with that said, man, the point I'm making is I was trying to save money, man. Yeah. And I wish I would have just said the entire reason they conscripted stormtroopers as opposed to continuing to clone is because that shit was so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's interesting, man, just seeing like the lengths and now you see like, well, shit, no wonder they had to save all this money. And no wonder they had to do things a certain way. You was putting all that money into the Death Star. Yeah, you was putting all those resources.
Tax and
you was doing all that to
arrest people.
Yeah, their ultimate goal was always the Death Star. And
they took that 80 million from them.
Yeah. So they was hurting, bro. They was hurting, so
they was arresting everybody. We got to go get some free labor. Yeah. So it was like cause and effect.
That was So them conscripting stormtroopers, them getting rid of the cloning facility, bro. It's just like the lengths that the Empire took, man, to build this weapon, man. But what was your ultimate takeaway from it, man? This post credit. Did you feel like where do you think we're going to season 2, and do you think like it's kind of giving us a hint like that the Death Star is going to play I mean, they can't really because they can't see the Death Star before before Rogue One. So.
Yeah, but it's like the carrot at the end of the stick, right? And it lets me know that and let's not lose sight of what this is all about, right? So even if you forget, it was like a reminder, like you know what this is all about, right? So for everybody who don't know, this is about the Death Star.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
this is about the Death Star. So whatever we see going on, hey y'all, this is about the Death Star. This is what we need to get to. This is where the story. This is why Andor had to run up on that dude and murk him in the beginning of Rogue One, because he knew about the pilot that was gonna have the plans that he left Jalen Erso. He knew had the plans or he wasn't gonna have the plans, but he was gonna have information on the weapon that they were building. It all led up to that, right? So don't forget that, right? Don't forget that. And we're going to get a lot of like themes that's going to come in to the point of like even those arcs that happen, we're going to have season or we're going to have year arcs going forward, right? But like the end of the arc is probably going to be like things about, and I'm okay with that, bro. It kind of like gave me like, hey, we letting y'all know now it's going to be about this. So don't think it's going to be about some other shit.
Yeah,
it's about this. Yeah,
it's about this.
It's about this. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm with it, man.
I'm okay with that, man. So like just seeing that, just seeing that post credit. I mean, dude, man? I told you I'm simple, man. Like it. I'm just happy right now, man, for that shitty run we had of the stuff we was watching.
Bro, that's a good. Hey, man, it felt
that
great,
stuff
man.
all together, man. Between this and watching
the
other stuff we seen, like there's a lot of stuff we don't watch that was just bad, man. There's like we got not the House of Dragon, and this, and what I just watched. I like Tales of the Jedi. What I just watched with the Guardians of the Galaxy, it's just like it's Star Wars, man. It's always a good place, man, for me when this stuff is good, man. and I just seeing that at the end, like it started, like for and then for the people who rightfully so felt that way. I'm not going to shit on people who was like, yo, this is not as Star Wars as it needed to be, and it wasn't like comparable to other stuff that come out. That's Star Wars right there, B.
No, the Star Wars.
Seeing that Death Star right there, I believe this whole thing is Star Wars. It's just another. It's good to get another side of this, man. Like,
it is,
yeah,
man.
We can have this, and then it's gonna make me appreciate when Mando come back, and then we get Ahsoka, and then we come back with some of this. Like, it's just good to have that balance. But I say, just seeing that Death Star at the end, it's like, oh no, this Star Wars. We ain't forgot about it.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
We ain't forgot about this. Is Star Wars, and we live in this universe.
There's high.
We live in this galaxy.
Here. Yeah,
this is what it is. The whole first thing, and then. One thing that I like about even with this, it's still about the thing that got reinforced at the end was hope. Lutheran got hope. Like, it's still about hope, man. And I walked away, man. I clap. I'll be full disclosure. When I'll just keep it a buck. When I wish I had the meme up. When Marvin said fight the Empire, I had the Denzel Washington face. My shit was on the side. Like I had the Denzel Washington on the side. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, I was like, damn, man. I'm like, how are we gonna have these episodes? We got like these 3, but it was just great. It was great performances, like great writing. It was just seeing when she said that, and she said, no, fight the Empire. They kicked over B2EMO, and I just had like a little drip coming down. I said, damn, that's the Denzel Washington. My face was stone. But I had a little Denzel Washington, like, yeah, this is doing good. So, like, seeing at the end, man, just seeing, what's gonna happen, but still, like, all right, he gonna free Biggs, and he gonna do this, and it's like, you know what? I don't care, man. Like, just seeing that Death Star at the end put me, and then seeing the Death Star at the end hype me up, like, oh, we ain't forgot that this what this is about. And that's what I came away.
You done sold me again on top of some shit I was already sold on. Like, you done renewed my, like, now I'm looking at it more so. I was just, and my bad to cut you, but I was more so like looking at this like, man, I'm just grateful for like a show run that was great, man. I was grateful for a show ending because we've gotten 2 just in Star Wars alone, and you brought up the all of it. You brought up the MCU shows and the House of the Dragon. To get House of Dragon and to get Andor, but also just to be able to say, like, I think overall we in a better place with Star Wars. I think we realize it's our hits and we realize our misses.
Yes.
Obi didn't work out. Boba was a disappointment, even though it had those 2 great episodes.
2 great.
Obi didn't have that, man. I'm sorry. Like, that's why I don't put them in the same category. Like, I don't put Obi-Wan and Boba in the same category because it didn't have those 2 episodes. There's no redeeming quality about Obi where I'm like, where I got any hope for it. But with
if they did season 2, you'd be like, I have nothing. Whereas like with Boba,
like, why?
They can clean up a thing or 2 in Boba. They could just change the theme of the character. They could change the theme of him.
Have the shit fall apart for Boba and have Boba go back to being a bounty hunter, man.
Just and being like he was when he showed up against the same personality. Yes.
They can do it. They can do it.
Now we rock it.
With a better showrunner, it can be done. It can be done.
They couldn't do that with Obi. Like, it's over. Like, Obi couldn't be what it needed to be. But my mind, I didn't mean to.
But I'm just saying, man, you sold me, man, because you brought up something. I think you brought up what I always felt like, even since I was a kid. What always kept me coming back to, or just kept me in Star Wars, is the overall promise of Star Wars, even the promise of a larger universe, getting into the books and just getting into like more content in the future. You gotta remember, bro, after they blew up the second Death Star, people was kind of like it wasn't nothing else after that. It wasn't no more.
That was it.
It was like, that was nice. You know what I mean? Like, It wasn't another movie coming out, bro. They had completely, Darth Vader was dead. The Emperor was dead. It was over. Movies coming out, man. It wasn't until like at that point, maybe 10 years later, that they came out with books. They came out with the expanded universe.
It took that long?
I think so, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
First book, maybe it was like in the early 90s. So yeah. But even with that, me as a kid knowing like, nah, man, there's more to this. when I saw the interview with George Lucas, that was a part of the. It was like they didn't have deleted scenes really. But they had this, bro. I remember this shit, bro. In the original trilogy, they had on every trilogy tape, they would have a part of a like an hour-long interview with George Lucas. Okay, where he was just talking about the making of the movie. Then when you get to Return of the Jedi, he started talking about the future of Star Wars. And they're like, man, what, they ask him, like, the guy asked him, like, George, what's the future? He was like, I think I want to tell the story of Anakin. And I want to tell where he acknowledged it, like, bro, this is all about Anakin. He had already written those stories. The studio, when he went to the studio, he was like, this is the part that's the best movies right now.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6. This is our movie that right now. But anyway, what I'm getting to is he was like, I want to tell Anakin's story. I want to tell the story of Anakin, where how he grew up and where he came from.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. The promise of Star Wars. Star Wars has to have promise. It has to have, you got to be able to look at this shit and be like, nah, man, there's more to be explored here. There's a story to be told. You know what I mean? Whether we going back, whether we talking about the Sith, how the Sith Empire, like we talked about all the time. Whether we want to see in Tales of the Jedi, it's cool. I'm grateful for Dooku and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Now let's expand it now because we know there's more there. We know that there's more there and it's worthy to look at. Same thing here, bro. Now with this Andor showing how successful it was in terms of just like how they executed their plans. And now that we got Mando coming up and we got Ahsoka coming up, I'm just excited, bro.
I'm in a good place, bro. I'm with you, bro.
I ain't been this way in a long time,
bro.
That's
funny that you say that because like that's how I've been thinking. Like with this show happened, and then you just see the horizon. Even I mean, I don't even know what happened for me to be like looking forward to like getting ready for even having Bad Batch 2 content. Like I'm looking forward to just to watch it, man. Like, well, shit, man. I just want to. I'm happy for it, man. But like when we get to the point of like you say, Mando, Ahsoka, potentially Acolyte, coming back to this, it's just like, yo, like I'm good, man. Like it didn't look that. It's funny, man, and shit can go. The best thing about this is the next thing is, I mean, I know we got Bad Batch, but the next thing is Mando. So like it's like, wow, when we were sitting here last year, and we had that great moment of Boba, those 2 episodes, and fucking incredible. Like as good as it get for anything you can possibly get in life from as a Star Wars fan. It don't get no better. It's up there. But like it didn't, like, damn, man, we came on it. Think about that same thing, man. We went Boba, we went Obi, and it's like, damn, we got Andor coming up. Right? It's like, damn, like, woo.
It was looking bad.
It was looking bad. And like you say, mix that in with some She-Hulks and some Ms. Marvels.
It could have been really bad.
Some Halos. It's
because you was just wrapping up Halo when Andor started.
And I watched Halo.
Oh man,
so
I never could get through
all that stuff in there. It was like, and we get to, like you say, we get into this part, and it was like, man, the horizon don't look that good. And it's like, wow. Then funny thing happened on the way to like October, right? Yeah. September and October, and it was like, oh, boom, 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 and it was like seeing this and just keeping it Star Wars. It's like, oh, hold on, we may have gotten over the little thing because it's like Andor, and then like you say, Mando. Dave ain't gonna let Ahsoka not. Dave had his fingerprints all over season 2 of Mando. He ain't gonna let Ahsoka not do her thing.
Hey, bro, that's
all. And they got it. And when we talk next, I actually want to talk about that. Like, they're gonna they're gonna do some things. So it's like, do we potentially, we gonna get, they're gonna sneak Ezra. So it's like, damn, do we gotta watch Rebels again? Like, do Hera, like people that people might be attached to, and then it's like, do they do a bombshell with like we know we're gonna go Dawn, but do we do Cal? Like, we gotta play the video game to see what happened. But do they even go that route? Do they? Because that's the one, right? That's the one for all of us. It's like, yo, Cal, where Cal, bro? Cal show up in something, it's over, right? So it's like, seeing that other side, it's like, yo, it looked kind of good. like
Yeah,
it looked good. And
promise.
it's
Show
dope,
a lot
man.
of
I
promise.
actually feel, like you say, in terms of, because I remember talking to, we about to stop. I do remember talking to you, and I was the one that was hyped about, and I hate to keep doing this, but I was the one that was hyped about Obi. You was like, look, I'm done. I don't mean to take you off what you're feeling, but I don't share the same sentiment you got about this. Because the trailer lied. The trailer lied, right? They ain't even play that music in it, let alone the show. But it was just like, I was like, hey man, Obi, you was like, I ain't trying to be, you know, you ain't gonna be call yourself Debbie Downer, but I don't got no negative Nancy, whatever the term is. I ain't trying to be that, but that ain't gonna be it. But like seeing this is like, after this finish, it's like, oh man, Mando, right? Hey man, we get through New Year's, you know, do a couple holidays in January. You know, it's 2 holidays in January. We roll out and it's like February, March, and like we got Mando, and it's like, oh, this is right on time, and it's like we back doing this, and we know what. So it's a good time, man. I feel good, and this helped out.
Good day.
This was right on time, man. And it's like you say, it's all. It feels like it's an inside thing. I think they're gonna do a much bigger job in season 2, kind of similar to Mando, but just getting through this, man. To your point, I'm appreciative of what got delivered to me.
Yeah.
When I finished that thing yesterday, I watched it in there. I watched it in my living room. I just sat there, and at the end, I just did a little clap. I wasn't gonna text you about it. Be like,
it was great.
We'll just talk. I don't want to, because I don't want to be. Oh man, it's the prisoner of the moment. Every time something happens,
I'm with you.
Just chill.
I was with you. It was
an excellent ride, man. It was just.
I watched it on my feet.
It's what I needed. It's what I needed.
Yeah. You stand up and like finish something. You like, all right, bet that was good. I was like,
when Andor did that dive shot, when he dove and shot dude, and I just was like, all right, man.
Andor got bodies, bro.
Andor got so many bodies. It was
on dude's stomach.
Hey, man, Luthen probably couldn't have killed him if he wanted to. Matter of fact, Andor was teaching his crew that he was trying to come out. Y'all go get him. And I had to school y'all. I know everything about y'all. So y'all come at me. I see you before you see me. This is what I do. But that's a whole nother conversation. Hey, man, but when he popped dude in the belly, he's like, kill me or take me in.
Take me in.
He made this face after that.
Luthen said, yeah, welcome to the team, officially looking. It's going to be a little awkward.
Yeah,
when he go back to old girl.
Crew, I know y'all was trying to kill me, but.
Oh, damn, I ain't know. Yeah.
But and I'm glad they didn't kill him. I thought, meaning like not kill him, but like I just knew Luthen wasn't making it through season 1.
Yeah, I was with you. I was waiting. I was like, oh, it's over. I was like, Andor about to kill him right now. He gonna pick up that gun, it's gonna misfire or something, and then he gonna. I was like, it's over. But nah, man, he just looked at it, started smiling. Hey, man, welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
So season 2. And would you, I mean, can we say, do we pretty much know? I mean, because I would think, just on terms of, I just would think, man, season 2 would be that would be it. Like they would do one more. They're gonna do one more.
Yeah, I think that was what the thing.
They're gonna wrap it up. It's too much. It's too much to think that this would go 5 seasons or something like. It wouldn't. But and like you said, we already jumping years in the second season. And we're gonna probably pull up right up until like I would expect Cassian gonna come out looking very much like his.
Yeah, he got to lose a little weight. He got to lose a little weight, get that little skin as they go CGI him. Not saying he chubby or anything like that, but like he much thinner in Rogue One than he is now.
Way younger.
Yeah. But they said that season 2 supposed to end literally right with him walking up on Baby Boy.
Ooh.
That's how it's supposed to end. Is that him meeting. So, it's like the things we got right now. We know B2 Emo. We know we got to see the Krennic and all of them. But, like, I think this is it. They were saying something in Celebration. They were talking about 3 seasons. But Diego was like, I only signed up for 2. And then this one is supposed to be, like, you can't have a 3-season show and it end in 2026. Right? You're just supposed to go back to back to back. If you're going 2, whatever, you ain't going to see this in 2024. Hopefully, maybe late next year. But, like, there's no way. It's 2 seasons.
Yeah, just wrap it up.
Me personally,
I don't need another. Star Wars, like even with Mandalorian, like Mandalorian's on his 3rd season. When you look at it, technically, this is like the 4th season of the book of Mandalorian.
Yeah, for that.
You know what I mean? Like if we just kind of combining them too, this might be it for a Mandalorian. I mean, I don't see, I don't know why. Yeah, as it should be. I think we can't go. How much farther can we go with Grogu? Like Grogu's 50 years old, right?
Especially in this way. He has to grow up, right?
Yeah, in his species, he's still like a young man, obviously, at least like a baby, or a child, I should say. But how much, you know what I mean? Like how much, man? How much more can you really stuff in there? You know, and you don't want to lose the novelty of the Mandalorian of Din Djarin and his suit and his armor, his weapons. Using these same weapons now, like we know it's weapons now, man. You got the what they call them, the birds or whatever. The
whistling birds.
Yeah, you got the whistling birds.
Oh,
we know
man.
that he got the string that come out.
Yeah,
he got that. Like we know his weapons. He got the blaster. He got the He had the rifle.
He had that one Sonic situation that he had.
Yeah,
I don't want to be strapped. I don't even be strapped with that anymore.
Yeah, he got the.
Might have got blew up. Did they got blow up when the Razor Crest got?
I think
he might have lost that with the Razor Crest. Got mobbed.
And he got the rocket launcher on his back. Like we know what he.
To your point, like how much more story can you tell? Because we can get into all that. Like okay, we kind of emptying out the purse when we get to like restoring Mandalore.
Yeah, we getting close.
That about it. That's like Mandalorian Endgame.
And you start bringing in Sabine. Sabine about to make her return. You start.
I might lose my shit though. I'm Rebels. I might lose my shit a little bit. Like fucking Sabine.
Yeah, I've been watching Rebels lately.
Yeah,
man.
Sabine.
Just coming off. I
didn't like her. I didn't care. And then I liked her at the end of like when she got the Darksaber. Then it was like, okay, she got a little more depth in her character. But different when you see somebody show up in live action. Definitely is. I get it. So it's like, oh, that's Sabine and shit, right?
Yeah.
Same thing I'm gonna do when I see Ezra. Like I told you my line the other day, whiny ass. As soon as I see Ezra, it goes down, right? It goes down. So Mando fucking dope, dog.
Yo, Mando, I got one.
Yeah,
bro, we're gonna wrap it up, man.
But, we gotta stop because we'll keep going.